Different from anyone else. We are all human. We all fall short. We all make mistakes. We all need some kind of motivation and encouragement and inspiration, whether it be you getting motivated from me or from someone else, or you just being able to encourage yourself, motivate yourself, speak positivity over yourself. And really, that's how it should always be. Like, it should always begin that way. I know for sure that's how I got started on my journey to recovery and to great health and accomplishing goals and dreams and bettering myself and all of that kind of stuff. I had to encourage myself a lot. Even when people, I didn't even tell nobody. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about that this morning, me telling people or telling the wrong people my hopes and dreams was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. And I learned from that. So everybody is not going to understand. Everybody is not going to um, agree with your vision or how you feel in your heart. That don't mean that it's wrong. We can't allow people to plant seeds of bitterness in us. We have to get away from those type of people fast. They can be dream killers, and you don't want to end up telling your dreams to the wrong person and they plant seeds of hopelessness and you are convinced that the things that they're saying to you is true. I'm so grateful and so glad that God allowed me to fight past that, but I can still think back on it and know that I learned from that mistake. But you have to encourage yourself. You have to tell yourself that the things that you hope for in your heart and in your mind is obtainable. It is possible all by any stretch of your imagination. You can do whatever you feel as though in your heart that you want to do for yourself and for your future. And you have to convince yourself of your own greatness. That's one of the main reasons I do affirmations at the end of my life lessons on Wednesdays, because I want you to say those things to yourself and speak them over yourself, and not only just hear yourself saying the words out of your mouth. I want you to say it from your heart. I want you to believe your own greatness and convince yourself of your own greatness, because eventually you will be manifesting that thing. You will be living out the very thing that you speak over yourself. You'll speak it in your heart and in your mind, and you repeat it to yourself. You'll give your subconscious mind an assignment to tell your conscious mind, you're not going to keep rising up and telling me negative things about myself. I want to believe positive things about myself. So once you keep feeding yourself those things, eventually they will become your reality. It won't be as easy as it used to be for your mind to be overwhelmed with anxiety and stress and negativity and doubt and hurt and those emotions that is not going to serve you well in your future. You will be overcome with greatness and good feelings about yourself. The majority of your life will be positive. Of course, everyone has good days and bad days. Everyone has to face adversity from time to time. Everyone has to go through the struggles and trials and tribulations of life. It happens to us all. But your life will be mostly positive. It will be mainly positive. You won't find yourself continuing to go through situation after situation if you lead your own self in the direction that you want to go in. If you speak positivity over yourself, speak greatness over yourself, encourage yourself, motivate yourself, speak great things over yourself every single day. It's like you need food to eat, you need water to nourish your body and all of that kind of stuff. You need to feed yourself positive things. I'm telling you, it is absolutely necessary, because it won't last long if you don't know how to hold on to great things in your mind. The Word of God tells us, number one, there is scripture in the Word of God that said, "Man should not live off of bread alone," and we have to live off of the Word of God. Words are powerful. Words are very, very powerful, and that's why it is so important to speak positive words over yourself. And there's also a passage of scripture that says, "A man is as he think in his own mind." So, what do you want to be? I'm telling you, the things that you think about yourself is what you are going to be. And sometimes you just have to be sometimes you have to be aggressive. Sometimes you have to be very forceful. Like, no, I'm not going to allow myself to think negatively about myself. I want to feel good. I want my right now to be good. I want my tomorrow to be great. You know, those of us who like to stress out about what tomorrow is going to look like and all of that kind of stuff. I want my tomorrow to be amazing. Number one, we should just live in the moment. Like, tomorrow is not even a thing. You know, let's worry about today and right now, and you know how we want right now to be. Sometimes we get lost in what's going to happen tomorrow, and in our reality, we don't even know if we're going to be here tomorrow. So that's why it is important for us to learn how to live in the moment, and to just make each moment count. So I was thinking about today. Of course, I will only be here with you guys for maybe about another 15 to 20 minutes, depending on which way the wind blows. You know, but I feel encouraged and I feel blessed this morning. I always try to encourage myself and feed myself positivity on a regular basis, especially when my mind is most impressionable. When I wake up first thing in the morning, I want to impress good things on my brain. So I listen to things of the Word of God. I listen to motivation. I listen to educational. I speak great things over myself. I tell myself that I feel good today. Is going to be a good day and all that kind of stuff. And by me paying attention to my mind and to my body, especially first thing in the morning, it allows me to have wonderful days. Excuse me. It allows me to have great days, and we want to do that. We want to go through our days gracefully. We want to accomplish the things that we have set before us, you know, whatever we have planned for our days, and we don't want to do it not feeling up to par. You know, we want to feel good mentally. We want to feel good in our bodies physically. That's why I am so big on physical health and mental health. I mean, mental health is like a number one top priority to me, because I know how it feels to suffer with bad mental health. And it's no joke. I know what it feels like to be depressed. I know what it feels like to have low self-esteem. I know what it feels like to be suicidal. I know what it feels like to be homicidal, to want to hurt people for no reason, you know, and it is just not a good place to be. So I began to build up my mental health to where I feel good about my life and about myself on a regular basis. Not allow the things that people do, outside sources, other people, dictate and determine how I feel on the regular basis. I don't watch the news anymore at all. I don't even know when the last time I turned on the news. I might hear news from other sources, but me sitting here and watching the news the way that I used to, and I did that because I saw my mom do it, you know, for so long, and I thought it was so important to know everything that was going on and all of that kind of stuff. Listen, it is what it is. I can't control the things that happen on the news, and they tell you what they want to tell you. And a lot of the things that they tell you, they might throw something positive in there here and there, but most of the stuff that they talk about on the news is negative things. And I did not want that to control my mood. I didn't want that to control my mind. So I made a conscious decision in my mind, like doing things like not watching the news anymore, not associating myself with people that talk negatively to me or about me. Learning how to take control of my own thoughts and my own mind. I had to build up my mental health, and it was hard work. Like, it was not easy, and I'm not, by all means, I'm not done. It's a process. You have to work on your mental health and on the regular basis, and that goes for anybody. So, I don't know who that person is who think that they are mentally strong enough to not have to work on their mental health on the regular basis, but you must be a bad mamma jamma, because everybody should maintenance their mind every single day. Learn how to feed yourself positive thoughts. Get rid of those negative thoughts. Speak positive things over yourself. Keep yourself encouraged. Not focus on the things that you can't do. Talk about the things that you can do. Focus on your strengths, the things that you are good at. And we look for outside sources to kind of build us up in these aspects. And as long as we look for outside sources, it's not going to happen for us. Self-development is exactly what it is. It's self-development. It's personal. It is between you and you. You have to look deep, way down within yourself, and begin to bring out the best inside of you. I'm not going to sit here and talk like it's easy. It's never easy, but it's always worth it. When I look back on everything that I had to grow through and how much progress that I made, I'm so glad that I took the time out to do the things that I do for myself on the regular basis. It was all worth it, and it still is. And I still do things on a regular basis to maintain my mental health and my physical health, and amongst other things. For those of you who know me, you already know the 5 major important things to me is mental health, physical health, emotional health, financial health, and wait a minute, what's the 5th one? Spiritual health. How can I forget that one? So we have to stay connected to our higher being, whatever your higher being is, whoever you call your higher being, that helps us get through tough times. That is what your spiritual guidance is there for, so you won't have to feel like you are in this world alone. When tragedy strikes, or things begin to fall apart and you feel like the whole world is on your shoulder and all that kind of stuff, you have to know that you are not in it alone. Where it seems like everyone is turning their back on you and you don't have nobody, your spiritual being will always be there with you. And the more that we don't focus on our spiritual health, the further it gets away from us. And then we have to work that much more harder to get back that connection to being close with our spiritual being, because we have not focused on having that spiritual connection with our higher being over the years. I'm not trying to make religious people out of you. I'm not a religious person, and I don't regret not being a very religious person. Sometimes religious people make you not want to be religious. So I choose to focus on me having a connection with my higher being. I believe that what we do in our personal time to stay connected with our higher being is way more important than what we do publicly in whatever public setting or place of worship and all of that kind of stuff. So work on the spiritual side of you. Stay connected to your higher being. Life is going to show up. Life is going to be lifing. Life is very demanding when the things happen that happens in life. And I know you guys know, when life happens, we have no choice but to stand up and show up and be whoever we have to be in that time or in that moment, or for whoever, or to whatever. I know sometimes we can wear many hats, and we just have to show up in different ways, and things happen unexpectedly and all of that kind of stuff. And we have to stay spiritually connected. We have to stay mentally healthy. Just stay healthy mentally, because you don't want to snap out and break down. I saw my mom have a nervous breakdown, and that was the first time I ever saw her children cry, tears. It was just so sad. It was a lot going on, and with her marriage, and then probably with us getting on her nerves and all of that kind of stuff. And I thought that would happen to me. I thought that it would be so unbearable. I thought that maybe that just happens, like it comes a point in your life where you just have to break down. And I'm grateful that I have never reached the point of having a mental breakdown. I did suffer with depression for a long time, but as far as having a complete mental breakdown, God has never allowed that to happen to me, and I'm grateful for that. And I also made it through a lot of tough times in my life. And I'm telling you, if the enemy wanted me, he should have took me back when he had the chance, because God has done so much for me, and I came a long way. And I believe that he allowed me to grow through those things and work on myself so much along the years that, right, I feel like it's going to be okay. Like no matter what happens, everything is going to be okay. And I want us all to grow to that point. And we never know what's going to happen. But I want to continue to feed myself those positive thoughts. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen today. But I want to continue to encourage myself on a regular basis and tell myself that no matter what happens, everything is going to be okay. So, I mean, that can mean anything. I know a lot of us go through some serious issues in life, and things that are beyond our control, or with our family, things that really hurts. And I'm not minimizing anything that any of us have to go through on the regular basis. I just want us to be encouraged today. I want us to tell ourselves that no matter what happens, everything is going to be okay, because it is. Everything is going to be okay. This too shall pass. Nothing lasts forever. Trials don't last forever. Troubles do not last forever. It's going to pass. It might seem like the worst of the worst at the moment or when it happens, but it will dissipate. Our emotions will get back in order. We will be able to control our minds and our emotions in the way that we feel, and try to put ourselves in a place where we need to be, so we can be functional human beings for our children, or for our spouse, or for ourselves, or for our families, or whatever. We just have to get through the tough times, and I'm telling you right now that you will. You will. Tough times do not last forever. Give yourself the time and attention that you need. Don't act like it's not happening. I'm not telling you to ignore whatever is going on with you right now. You might be going through some serious situations that might be taking a toll on you, that needs a time and attention for you to heal. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. If you need time for yourself, for you to just focus on your mental health, or whatever you need to do whatever you need. Be creative And I say this often: be creative in self-development and self-growth. Do what you need to do. It's not going to look the same for everyone. It's not going what I may have to do for myself and my self-development and my growth and whatever I have to do. I mean, I sing stupid songs. Sometimes I make up jingles like, not today. I do whatever I have to do so I won't have to suffer the way that I used to suffer. Like I'm very creative. I really am. I am very creative. I'm colorful with it. But as long as I don't have to suffer through the things that I had to suffer through, and not in that way. We're going to have to face adversity from time to time, but we want to be able to get through these things gracefully. So we're going to be okay today. I want us to put into our minds, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. I want you to ask yourself this question: how willing are you to do the things that you need to do to get where you need to be? How willing are you to take the first step, or to take some kind of action, or to do whatever you need to do? Or are you even willing to do it? Like, are you willing to not just talk about it? Are you willing to put your best foot forward and do it? Someone said that to me maybe a few years ago, and I love this person dearly. He's like a brother to me. He's been very loyal to me since the time I met him. He's always very encouraging to me and speaking positive words to me. And when it seemed like a lot of people were taking advantage of me, and I went to go talk to my brother from another mother, he said, that's okay. Continue to put your best foot forward. And those words just rang like a bell in my mind so many times, time after time. And me putting my best foot forward was not what I thought it was going to look like. I mean, you had to put your best foot forward by all means. It might not be in the direction that you thought you were going in, or it might not, look how you want it to look, or be how you want it to be. Do the thing that you are able to do, and do it at the best of your ability. How willing are you to give it all that you have? It's not going to be easy. We're going to have to keep ourselves encouraged. We're going to have to cry sometimes. It's going to take some blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to take some hard work and effort on the continuous basis. We're going to have to be consistent in order for us to see the results. But how willing are you to put your best foot forward? And I'm so glad that my brother from another mother planted that seed in me, because it encouraged me so much to continue to put my best foot forward. I'm telling y'all have to watch who y'all be talking to on a regular basis, because people can say things to you that is going to plant seeds in your mind. Someone said something that was not so positive to me the other day, and I said, please do not speak that over me. Don't say that to me. And it might have been, or them just saying it, or, making a joke out of it or whatever. But I had to clear that up, because I will minimize the time that I spend associating with you, period, if you think that it's going to be okay for you to plant negative seeds about me into my mind. I don't want to hear that. So we have to be mindful of the people that we talk to on a regular basis. And some people can do that deliberately. They can blatantly plant bitter seeds in our heads for whatever reason, because they don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you get further ahead than they are, or whatever reason, they might not realize the seriousness of it. They might do that to themselves. They might do that to their own kids. I'm telling you, we gotta watch what we say to these kids. I tell my kids, they get on my nerves. My kids get on my nerves just as much as anybody else's kids. But I speak greatness in all my children always, even when I don't want to, even when they get smart and they think I'm their worst enemy and all of that kind of stuff, and I want to call them out their name and all that kind of stuff. But I don't want to plant that into their head. I want them to know that I'm going to always be their greatest supporter, their biggest fan. As long as they're doing something positive, I'm going to always have their back. I'm always going to encourage them to bring out their full potential or the greatness inside of them. I speak positivity over my children always. I speak positivity to my children always. And that's keeping it real, because in all reality, that's what I want for them, no matter what. No matter if they getting on my nerves or if I'm alive or I could be long gone, I always want my children to be doing extremely well in life. I want them to live a good life. I want their experience, the one experience that they have on this earth, I want it to be a pleasant one. And I'm using that one thing for example, because even us as mothers, like, who do we love more than our children? And we have to be mindful of the things that we speak to them and about them. I'm telling you, words carry power, and we had to do that for ourselves too. We had to speak positive things over ourselves and plant good seeds in our own minds as well. So that is it. I want us to be able to put into our minds that we are willing to do the work. Speak greatness over yourself. Be mindful of your surroundings, who you associate yourself with on the regular basis. I'm not just throwing these things out there. These are things that I have found to be very effective in my self-development. So I know this message may not be for everybody. This message might just be for those who really want to see their lives change for the better, who really want to see a major difference in their life. So I really do. I wish the best for you all, and I hope to see you all doing the work, doing the work. I just can't even believe that it's August 4th already. Like, that is the 8th month of the year. We're currently in the 8th month of the year. These weeks are flying past. I introduced my Happy New You challenge to you all in June, in light of June being the 6th month of the year. So we were halfway to New Year's, in June. And with self-development, if you want to see a difference in your life, you're going to have to give yourself time. 3, 6, 9, 12 months is enough time for you to see a miraculous change in your life from what it was to what you want it to be. Because what it was may not have necessarily been what you actually want it to be. So you can change it from what it was to what you want it to be. So I'm telling you, how willing are you to start now? It's not too late to jump into my Happy New You challenge. That is establishing healthy habits for your life, writing down some goals, developing healthy habits, better habits, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, just basically working on yourself, writing some of these things down, going back to your list of goals, changing the little things that you do so they can have a major impact on your life. By the end of this year, you should see something happening. Something should be happening. So now we 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 months into when the ball is going to drop. We're going to say Happy New Year's. Everybody going to be screaming and hollering, Happy New Year. Everybody, we're going to be setting these New Year's resolutions that the majority of people do not stick with New Year's resolutions because we expect to see these things happen overnight, and that's just not how it goes. I tried it and it ain't working. No, I'm gonna take me for example with my weight loss journey or my health journey, my physical fitness health journey. I started this journey 10 years ago. I really did. I started 10 years ago after I gave birth. My son will be 11 years old in February, and I was extremely unhealthy. But after I gave birth to him, I was bigger than I had ever been in my entire life. I think I went up to like 198 pounds. I'm not even sure if I ever hit 200 pounds before, but I never been that big in my entire life. And I felt it in my body. My body was weak and unhealthy, and I did not like it. So it has been a journey over the past 10 years. I lost the weight, I gained the weight. I try to do things to incorporate healthy things in my body. I started drinking green smoothies years ago and just started incorporating those things in my body. And here I am 10 years later, and not saying that it's going to take 10 years for you. You just have to buckle down and be willing to do it. Sometimes we think we got time. We got the time that we don't really have. And I just don't want us to wait until it's too late. But if you really want to see the results, at first I saw results instantly. I went right back down. My normal weight was between like 150 and 160. I looked amazing. I was able to wear whatever I wanted to wear and all of that kind of stuff. But I went through a whole lot of things. My marriage ended up not working out and all of that kind of stuff. And I quit smoking cigarettes, so I replaced cigarettes with sweets. I'm like eating everything sweet that I can get my hands on. And I was like, all right, I gotta backtrack again because now I'm putting the weight back on. So, it was a process. It was a process. And finally, I am doing so much for my health. I do yoga on Mondays and I work out 4 days a week. I swim on Thursdays. I try to stay active, play pickleball with my kids sometimes. And now I am getting into shape. I am stronger and healthier than I have ever been, probably in my entire life. And it was a journey, I'm telling you. And I just decided to buckle down and just be really serious about it. But if we want to see the results, we have to start doing the work. And one thing that I'm so glad through all of my experiences in life, I'm so glad that I never gave up on myself. This year I'll be celebrating, Lord willing, 10 years clean and sober from drugs and alcohol. Oh, I almost cried. And I'm so grateful because the worst of my addiction was like in a 10 year span. It was like from the age of 21, and then I stopped around 31. So it was like that 10 years for me was hell. And I was actually out doing a in-person motivational speaking. I go out into the neighborhood and I go inside the homeless shelter, and I just have a great time talking to the people and keeping them encouraged. I do that on the weekly basis. And I said, oh my gosh, I got my 10 years back. I actually said that this week when I was out, and that was the first time I actually thought about it like that. Like, wow, I got my 10 years back. That 10 years that I felt as though was wasted, that I made so many mistakes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just really getting emotional just saying that right now. But that is just such an amazing place to be. All the time I wasted and all of that kind of stuff. And even with my broken marriage, I was married to the wrong person for almost 10 years, and I'm like, something about this 10 years, like I got my 10 years back. So I'm just so grateful to feel like that God is giving me my life back. And I actually said that to my ex-husband. I was like, I wasted almost 10 years with you. I want my 10 years back. Like, I gave you some of the best years of my life. And he's like, oh, you ain't gonna get that 10 years back. I think he was wrong. Cause I'm telling you, I feel like I got my 10 years back, y'all. And I'm just so grateful for that. And it wasn't given to me. And nobody gave it to me. I had to work hard to get my 10 years back. And it's really a really good place to be. I feel more alive than I have ever felt in my entire life. And I was willing to do any and everything that I had to do to get that 10 years back, to get my mental health back, to get my physical health back, to do what I had to do for my future and set goals for myself and all that kind of stuff, to get myself together emotionally, where I don't let people get me all bent out of shape anytime they feel like it and all that kind of stuff. It was not easy. It was hard work. I'm telling you, it was hard work, but to think about it, it just brings me so much great joy and great peace to feel like the life that I felt hopeless at a point of time in my life. I remember it was one point in time where I was married at the time, and I was in a really bad place. And my husband at the time, he was sitting by me on the bed, and I was planning my funeral. And I was telling him, like, I know I'm going to go. I felt like it was the end of my life. And I literally, and this man never cries. I never saw him cry before, but I saw his eyes well up with tears, because the way that I was talking, I really felt like my life was over. I had came to a place of hopelessness. That's where God brought me from. I'm telling you, that is where God brought me from. So listen, I ain't trying to hear it. I mean, we all go through stuff, and I am not trying to minimize anyone's struggle, but I know if God allowed me to get through the things that He has allowed me to get through, I know He can do it for you and anyone else. I ain't special. I tell y'all that all the time. I am not special. I was just willing to do the work, and I still am. I am still willing to do the work. And you have to do the work. So how willing are you to put your best foot forward and do what you have to do to get where you want to be? So listen, I ain't messing with y'all. Y'all got me all welt up and emotional and all. Listen, misty-eyed and all kinds of stuff. But I am so grateful. I really, really am. God has brought me a long way, and God has done so much for me, and I just can't even ask for anything different. I count my blessings even for my trials and my hurt and my pain and the sexual molestation and the hurt from my relatives and my loved ones and people who never thought I was worthy and all of that kind of stuff. I thank God for it all, because without that I would not be where I am today. So I count it all as joy. It added to where I am today. It all added to where I am today and the growth that God has allowed me to accomplish over the years. So listen, I love y'all. I really do, but I got to go. I am out of here. Listen, think about some of the things that I said today. Speak positivity over yourself. Speak greatness into yourself. Tell yourself the things that you want out of life. Get rid of all of those negative thoughts and feelings and emotions that are going through your mind on a regular basis. You deserve better and more than that. So go after your true heart's desire. You don't even have to tell nobody. Go somewhere and get yourself together, because that's what I did. I did not announce it on the loudspeaker or none of that stuff. Like, when I popped out, listen, when I popped out, people was like, dang, I ain't know. Yup. Yeah, because I ain't tell nobody what I was doing. I just went on ahead and did it. And if I did, they probably didn't take me serious, but I had to take me serious. So how serious are you about yourself and your future and the life of yourself, and how bad do you want it? God bless you guys. Oh, before I go, Please, if you have not yet, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can Google it, True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube. Also, my books are available on Amazon. That is True Value Knowing Your Worth. That is my first book, Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures, Feed Your Soul, Your Personal Guide to Health and Wellness, and Religiously. And that's taking a closer look at spirituality and religion. I am currently in the process of working on my fifth book, and that is called Misunderstood. So that is the spoken truth of the unspoken. I think that's how I said it. But anyway, listen, God bless y'all, and I love y'all. I really do. I appreciate all your support tuning into my videos. Whoever chose to subscribe to my YouTube channel, your likes, your comments, your positive words that you give back to me. All of it means so much to me, and I am so grateful for you all. Every like, every share, every view, everything that you do to contribute to keep me going on the regular basis. You can drop some stars. I think that's like 99 cents a star. Help yourself to drop some stars up on here. But in the meantime, God bless you, and I love you. Continue to stay motivated. I want you guys to go out here and have an amazing Friday. Have a blessed weekend. Please look forward to more motivational videos, Lord willing. I will be back here next Wednesday, my birthday week. I'm be lit all week. Listen, my birthday is next week. I'm feeling excited. I am in celebration mode. I am grateful for all of my accomplishments. So I'm already feeling good. But next Wednesday, I always try to make it my point to be on here and do life lessons every Wednesday. So prepare yourself for a life lesson next Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. So God bless you, and I love you. In the meantime, you guys continue.